Hello, welcome to my channel. Vice Rhino here. Cirrus is kind of over there.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely moving myself back down.
There we go.
That cutoff was bad and weird and dumb.
I mean, I could have moved you again. We're having some difficulties. There's black stuff on my screen that cut him off somehow. Like it was weirdly cropped or something.
I mean, also, like, realistically, my character model was cut off at the top, not on your screen, but on mine because of where it was.
Yeah, new character model. Cirrus has ray tracing now.
Yeah. Now with upscaling, not from fucking NVIDIA's AI bullshit.
No, this is, fuck, I was going to say the name of the AMD one, but I forget what it's called.
I forget what it is. I know which one you're talking about.
DLSS is the FSR. FSR. That's the one.
FSR enabled?
Yes. Cirrus is FSR enabled now. Hi.
Hi.
How's things?
Well, it's been a while since we've been able to actually do one of these.
I know.
So, you know, maybe I should be asking you that.
I debated canceling tonight because I have a busy week.
Ah. Well.
And along those lines, I am going to be on the God Awful Movies podcast on Tuesday.
Hell yeah.
And we're recording for that on Friday, which is my normal record my video time. So I was like, okay, it's a busy week. I need to do so. So now I'm just going to have to work extra hard tomorrow. So, yeah, so that's going to be fun. We're watching the movie The Fort, starring Kevin Sorbo and Dean Cain, although starring should have heavy air quotes around them.
Yeah. You seen the shit around Ua Bowl lately?
I had heard about the super duper racist movie that he released that Elon Musk put up for free on Twitter for a few hours.
Yeah, Citizen Vigilante.
That's the one. That was the last God Awful Movies movie.
Oh shit, they did? Okay,
they did. They covered it. So I have heard all the nasty deets about that. Oh god damn it! Plowkin can't see me without my glasses. Fine, I will go get my glasses. Fuck you.
Can't see you without your glasses. That's a reverse Velma Dinkley, which sounds like a sex thing, actually, come to think of it. But the fight says Ultra HD Cirrus. Yeah, it's like Ultra Instinct, only upscaled. Though realistically, I'm on Zoom And Zoom does that stupid AI upscaling shit, and you can't turn it off, which is really, really silly and dumb and silly.
You talking about me?
Well, I said dumb and silly, so I wasn't really talking about you, but I guess if you feel
If
like I
the
am
shoe
signaling that,
fits. All right.
we don't use the shoe to determine brain size. That's phrenology.
No, phrenology is using the
Is
skull.
skull size. Yes, I understand that, but
It would be reflexology if we're using the shoe.
using a part of the skeleton to determine brain
If
size.
it's the shoe, it would be reflexology.
It'd be reflexology. Also, Liz Chris, holy fucking shit. Thank you for the 25 gifted subs. That looks kind of like money. Huh.
John73 John says, dang, I was hoping for the green CGI looking glasses. Yeah, well, you don't get those because those are a pain in the ass to wear. And now that I know where these glasses are, I'm not wearing the green ones.
Oh.
They're just for the camera, but not for live streams. Anyway.
Phineas says, oh, Zoom sucks. I just use Google Meets as it doesn't have the AI upscale. Last I checked by default. Either that or StreamYard. Okay, so StreamYard costs money.
Well, there's a free version if you don't mind a watermark. And I guess we could screen record it.
I think both of us mind a watermark.
Jassa says, or Discord. Yeah, we tried that. It
no,
sucked.
Discord is... So the only thing that I'll use Discord for video purposes is like Third Space Arcade, because we don't have to put up anything on screen. It's literally just talking heads. And even then it lags out. Like for anything with any amount of video production sauce at all, Discord is 12 different types of awful. But it makes sense that it would be, because Discord is primarily built
voice chat for when you're playing video games.
Yeah, it's built to strangulate bandwidth. It is built to use the lowest bandwidth everything possible, because it doesn't want to suck bandwidth away from whatever game you're playing, which makes it really good for its task, makes it really awful for anything else.
Fennec has resubscribed for his 32nd month, or for their 32nd month. That's a long time.
That is a very long time, especially to be stuck with you. Damn.
Yeah, I've been doing this for more than 2 years now. Shit.
Yeah.
Shit. And I did it on just YouTube a long time before I started Twitch.
Yeah.
Sirs, I'm over 40.
Hmm?
I'm old.
I'm aware.
I pulled a muscle in my jaw while eating a muffin the other day.
That's way funnier than it should be. I can't wait till I get there. That sounds great.
Someone on Blue Sky, when I posted about it, was like, were you trying to eat it like a snake?
Were you... American, were you practicing dick suckery?
I'm also going to do a little bit of YouTube drama.
Oh boy.
I just found out this week that back in April, well, I guess several months before then, but back in April was when they made the first video about it. But Linus Tech Tips, a YouTuber that I kind of admired and like I appreciated the candor with which he spoke on his live stream or whatever. And I've always kind of related to him and everything. I found out he bought a fucking private jet.
Yeah.
And and the thing is, like, he's had people recently leave the company and then be very public about how, like, hey, when you're, like, filming videos upgrading your boss's third mansion, you start to wonder, like, when am I going to be able to buy a house for me?
Yeah, that's
and so now I have issues with that as well, because the person who said that left the company, proceeded to buy a very expensive farm, and has been making videos about all the expensive equipment he's been putting on his farm and everything. And like, they're fun videos and everything, but little tiny bit hypocritical to be like, I left because he didn't pay me enough to buy a house, but I had enough to buy massive amounts of property and a bunch of equipment to take care of it properly.
There is the part where he could have taken out loan for.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
He took trying to use.
He constantly makes jokes about how much debt he's in, so like, I'm sure it's not a very comfortable financial situation, but like,
and then he's
he
probably
still
making
had
the
the
YouTube
resources.
videos about it so that he can write them off on taxes afterwards.
Yeah. I
Like,
feel like I'm not saying it was bad for him to do that.
yeah,
I'm just saying there are certain aspects of his story that do not quite track.
no, that's fair.
But
That's entirely fair.
that being said, I lost a lot of respect for Linus because like he's not even attempting to he does kind of try to justify it, but he also like quoted Warren Buffett. He was like, "Oh, well, I'm going to do the Warren Buffett thing. The first private jet that he bought, he named the Indefensible."
Okay, but
And
why would you want to, like, if you already know that that's the case, why would you do it? Like, that's
yeah, I mean,
like,
he went on public record when talking about Taylor Swift's private jets that like I don't think that's cool. I don't think it's very good or whatever. I forget exactly what he said, but
it's the kind of, okay, so there's a mentality that I want to talk about real quick that you just kind of illuminated, and it's the I have a problem with the people in power
until
until I
I'm in
become,
power.
yeah, until I
Yeah.
become the person in power. It's the reason why like people who have this like fascination with I want to be rich. Okay, cool. Well, why do you want to be rich? Is it because you want to wield the kind of power that they wield, or is it because you just don't want to have to scrape by for your next meal? Like, what is your actual motivation there? Because my worry, especially being in a very politically motivated circle, is that let's say you've got a friend who's a content creator and they're talking about leftist things. They're talking about camaraderie, they're talking about building unions, all that. And then suddenly their channel shoots up to 500,000 subscribers. And then suddenly they've bought a Tesla. And then suddenly they are saying, well, actually, maybe it's okay that these people have this much money. Now that I'm a tiny millionaire, maybe the trillionaires are actually like morally okay. Like I worry about watching that kind of turncoatism when the money inevitably corrupts.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think that I would be different because as it stands now, as long as I have enough money to not be worried about where the money to pay my bills is going to come from, I'm happy. And research backs this up. I forget the exact number, but it's something around $130,000 a year. Once you're making that, it's like money doesn't buy happiness past that point, but like below that point, the lack of money certainly causes a whole lot of unhappiness.
Yeah, so you know what's depressing? You know what those numbers were 9 years ago? 70,000.
Yeah. And now that's the median salary, and it's not keeping up with inflation.
That's the median. I don't even make the median salary. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Um.
You know,
Yeah.
I have a big problem with people who do stuff like that. And it, like you, I would hope that if I found myself in a situation where I had that kind of money, that I would be better about it. I would hope. I have no guarantees that I would be better about it because I'm human, and
You know what?
the
Audience, if
point
you
of
guys want to find out which one of us handles money better, go to patreon.com/ViceRhino and whatever the fuck Ursa's Patreon
no,
list is.
go to patreon.com/skeptic.
No, they got to do both, so we both get lots of money
gotta,
so that we can see who does better with it.
right. So every dollar you give to Rhino, give me $1.2, and then I'm kidding.
Sure, I'm good with that.
But I mean, you're not wrong. The only way that one of us would find out is by being in the situation where we have it. Because like it's like when people say, like person A goes through a life or death situation, and somebody goes, in that situation, I would do X. And I just kind of like tilt my head to the side and go, you don't know you would do that though. Like I know what I would do if somebody puts a knife to my throat because I've been in that situation as a child. I know what that situation. I know what the situation looks like when somebody's aiming a shotgun at you. I know what I would do like in that situation. The answer is freeze, by the way. The answer is fucking freeze. Because I've been through that. But I can't tell you what I would do
Sirs, I would like to contend your answer.
Sure.
So my answer, what I would do in that situation is piss myself.
You know, I'm surprised I didn't, honestly. Like, regardless, but no, like, I know what I would do only in situations that I personally have experienced because I know what I did in those situations.
Yeah, well,
But
I have not experienced that, but I imagine that I would piss myself.
fair enough. But it bothers me when people have such confidence with how they portray that. Like, if that happened to me, I'd blow that person's head off. Really, you would? Okay, cool. How?
With my rocket launcher.
With my rock? That's like
Have
the
you seen
5-year-old
Have you seen
person.
Avatar: Fire and Ash? I got a bow and arrow with explosives on the end.
Yeah, yeah. I've also
Conton
seen
83 just redeem the hats.
I've also played Ocarina of Time. I'll use my ice arrows. Can't shoot me
Yeah,
through the ice arrows.
Avatar was just on my mind because one of the kids watched it recently. I don't like the Avatar movies. I know that's a hot take.
I think they're okay. Like
So
it's just
they're incredibly
modern
too long.
It's
Like,
modern Pocahontas.
It is. All three movies have essentially the same plot. Like while I was watching the third one with the kid on and off, I didn't get to see the whole thing because I had things to do. But like I was predicting plot beats that would happen later, and then I come back in later. I didn't see any of the stuff in the middle. I'm like, hey, that's that thing that I predicted. Because it's the same movie over and over again.
Yeah,
which is fine. It's
because the movie is Who's the Savage.
It's-
Like that's the movie that
Yeah.
you've made is Who's the Savage.
it's a no thinky entertainment movie. But one of the issues that I have with it though, like they are so long, and a good part of the reason why they're so long is because they do those really long sequences of like showing off the beautiful scenery that they've created on Pandora.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, this is a video game cutscene. What is this doing? Like, if it was actual scenery, I'd still want less of it in my action movie.
I will say this though, there is one, so I like the Avatar movies. I think they're fine. Like they're nothing that I will go out of my way to watch, but if it's on, I'll watch them. However, there is one thing that I really like, and it's the Na'vi language, because there is an entire cottage industry around making music with lyrics with the Na'vi language, and that shit is fantastic.
You want to open the can of worms about the music with Avatar?
Sure, why not?
Do you know what fucking James Cameron did with the music of Avatar?
Sure.
For the first movie, in the pre-production stages, they hired who did the music on it? Was it Howard Shore?
I don't know.
Okay, well, whoever did the
I'm
music.
talking about the fan made industry.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about the actual movie. So they got their composer to work with an ethnomusicologist, so like someone who studies music from all these different cultures and different languages and everything. And he got them to work at the goal was to create something that is unrecognizable as music that we would hear on Earth by combining music from all these different cultures. So it's like familiar enough that we hear it as music, but alien enough that it's, alien.
Yeah.
They threw out everything they created because, oh no, that doesn't sound familiar enough. And then we
Well,
just
of course
ended up
it's
with a
not
normal,
going to.
yeah. And then we just ended up with a normal orchestral score, which like there are a couple microtonal drop offs at a couple points, but aside from that, all the ethnomusicology stuff got thrown out. And they even went so far as like in the if you buy the art book, they have created musical instruments for the Na'vi people that, to the best of my knowledge, have never appeared on screen. But they like had all this lore about all these musical instruments that they had to create these sounds that the composer and the ethnomusicologist were creating, and then they didn't use any of those sounds. And that makes me angry.
I can see why that would upset you. At the same time, it wouldn't upset me only because if I were in that situation, but no, it wouldn't really upset me only because I'm so used to kind of autistically digging into franchises that I like. So I'm just numb to this thing was left on the cutting room floor isms.
So my thing with that is that I understand why it was left on the cutting room floor, because realistically, if you had music in your movie that's actually sounded alien, and it like Because like I, with my Western trained ear, when I listen to microtonal music, it does not sound good to me. I do not enjoy it. Like the those that musical duo that wear the funky costumes, Angine de Poitrine. Do you know those guys?
No.
Okay, I'm sure you've seen. I'm not going to play their music because that would be rude. But I'm sure you've seen the guys.
Sanchini says Dune went through with actually doing that. Yeah, no, I have not seen these people at all in my life.
You haven't seen those guys?
Nope.
Okay, well, he's playing a microtonal guitar.
Remember, I'm on Sonic the Hedgehog internet.
Okay, well, they play microtonal music, and they do it very well. They're very highly skilled, but it does not sound good to my Western trained ear. And so I understand how James Cameron might not wanted to take a risk with that. Like, it sounds like a good idea in your head, but then you hear the actual stuff, and it's like, oh, audiences aren't going to like that. So, like, I get that, but they never released any of the samples or anything. I would love to hear what they came up with.
They just all, like, literally died on the cutting room floor.
Because that's the thing. I will never listen to an Angine de Poitrine song because I don't think they sound good. But I have watched their videos and I have appreciated it. I am better. I have had a better experience of my life for having been exposed to that, even if it's not my thing.
Yeah.
So I would like to actually hear it. It's overrated. No, it's once you get past the sphincter, there's nothing there. It's just a big empty void.
Yeah.
So it's like there's not. I prefer to have sensations. So anyway, shall we do some news?
Yeah, I'm okay with that, but like,
are you though?
I don't think so. Here's the thing: like, I'm demisexual, so I don't know some news. So I don't know if I really want to do them.
I mean, I heard you on your stream.
Like,
you said you wanted to do my watering hole.
I mean, look, that's what I'm doing now, right?
I've eaten enough American lettuce that it is a watering hole.
Right now, that's a dangerous thing to be consuming.
No, we actually, we've been avoiding American produce for a couple of years now at this point. And
it's amazing what happens when your regulations aren't being upkept. Weird.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, that's not why we've been avoiding them, but we are glad we have been now. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to start off. You hear about Lindsey Graham?
So I can't hear about somebody who doesn't exist. Sorry.
Lindsey Graham has bitten the dust. Oh my goodness, where did that video come from? I don't know how that got there.
I mean, it turns out I had a porn tab up this entire stream, and I only found out when I got on the Zoom call.
Okay. Well, I don't know how that video got there. I don't know how to get rid of it. It's just going to be stuck there for a while I talk about Lindsey Graham. But yeah, Lindsey Graham is no more. And what I think is hilarious about this is, did you hear about the cause of death?
Unexplained, unexpected.
No, the actual medical cause of death.
Okay, so I have a friend who was just like, I think Donald Trump poisoned Lindsey Graham.
Sure. Why would he poison one of his biggest supporters in the Senate at a time when they are desperate for Senate seats?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I have thoughts.
But I mean, hey, the Some More News video today was on how everything is a false flag now. So that just falls right into that same category. But yeah,
what was our cause of death for Rest in Piss?
So the official cause of death, the medical one, was an aorta rupture stemming from a hardening of the arteries. Motherfucker literally died of a hard heart.
I mean, that's kind of in keeping with his character.
Like, this timeline would never like if you pitched this timeline to a movie executive like 20 years ago, they would have been like, no, everything is way too on the nose.
Yeah. Yeah, but here we are.
Olivia Williams for $7 says, "Well, now I have a James Bond Live and Let Die flashback." Because I'm pretty sure the Dancing Coffin guys were in that as well. Like, not these
I
specific
just
Dancing Coffin guys, but the because this is an actual
and
thing.
now you
As much as I'm using this video to be like, I'm happy this guy is gone. I actually would not mind having this be my send off. It's pretty cool.
So when I was younger, I actually wanted to have a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament as at my funeral, where whoever won the tournament would get more of my stuff. So, like, I'm kind of okay with it.
Oh, my partner had a call with life insurance people today, and they asked her like, "What are your plans for funeral or whatever?" And she was like, "I don't know. I'm not going to be here. Just wherever he feels like chucking me."
That
I'm like,
is the correct
thanks.
response.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like, thanks for assuming you're going to go for. I want to go first. But
Jesus. But I think it's very funny that we got another round of the Charlie Kirk apologists after this,
oh yeah,
going like, how dare you? That man's family is grieving. Boy, howdy, I didn't give a flying fuck thinking about Hitler's family when I thought about the dude getting shot in the head when I learned about that in history class. When I learned, oh, he shot himself, I was just like, oh, cool, good. I didn't think, oh man, maybe he has a niece that's sad about that.
yeah. I'm gonna see if I can pull up a thing. Oh no, I think I sent it to my partner on WhatsApp. So let's see if I can. Nope. I did not. Somebody sent it to me on Blue Sky. What did I post? This is always the best part of the stream.
Yeah,
Okay.
the stun lock.
The me trying to find stuff. Okay, so hey, is everything okay? And this guy says, it's just the bone farmer. He died. He was that thing that would break into people's homes and steal their skeletons while they slept, right? So sad. And let's see. Go away. Oh, no, don't go that far away. Why are you... God damn it. Okay, the way I've got this cropped, it's not really working very well. So every time I try
Minari
to go...
says if they wanted people to mourn him, maybe they could have encouraged him to be more lovable.
Yeah, so Bone Farmer died. Everybody's like, oh, so sad. I mean, obviously, ideologically, I didn't agree with him with regards to the skeleton ownership, but his smart little bow tie, though. You have to admire his tenacity for a cause he believed in, and then a person who's had all their bones stolen is in a jar on the side saying, gonna have to disagree with you folks here. And then they're like, too soon, Jeff. So,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, that is...
As we have said multiple times with multiple bad people, you do not, in fact, have to hand it to them.
Correct. Now, my favorite little tidbit of this is that right after Lindsey Graham died, Mitch McConnell posted proof of life pictures, and he's looking healthier than he's looked in years.
Isn't that from 2023, though?
Is it?
That's so the claim that I've been seeing where he's concerned.
Okay. Well, you're raining on my conspiracy parade, because my thing was that this is Mitch McConnell looking healthier than I've seen him in years, and he posts it right after Lindsey Graham dies. So my thoughts was that he is like using dark magic to suck the life force out of the other Republicans.
Look,
but if that's just an old picture, then like, yeah, no.
I was just happy to call him Rigor Tortoise.
Yep, that. Yeah, Rigor Tortoise indeed. And Fennec is repeating Weekend at Bernie's over and over again.
Weekend at Bernie. I've seen there was somebody who did a photo of somebody just with the puppet strings with Mitch McConnell at the end. No, he had a picture of the newspaper with him to try to make sure that it was like super verified that it was him. Laurel Loomer, though, posted about it saying that why does the text on Mitch McConnell's staff claim he's holding why does the text on the newspaper that Mitch McConnell's staff is holding look AI generated? The text is blurry. And the tag on
Okay.
his shirt is blurred.
So here's the thing. If I take a picture like that on my phone right now, there are AI tools that you have to like I don't know how to turn them off. I've never bothered to figure it out that try to sharpen the image for you.
Oh, like the ones that sharpen the moon when you look up there.
No, not like that, but yeah, I know what you're going after. No, it just it's just the normal sharpening tool but dialed up to 11. And if you zoom in on pictures, it starts to look kind of AI-y. And I don't like it, and I haven't quite figured out how to turn it off yet. I'm not enough of a photographer that it's like most of my pictures is just like, yeah, no, it's a cute thing that my kids are doing. I'm not doing art. So it's like whatever.
Ah,
I don't really
it
care that
was
much.
it was Senator Ron Johnson
But
that spread the "that's an old photo" thing.
okay, but my point is though that like even if the text does look AI generated, if it was just a picture taken with a smartphone, there's a good chance that the smartphone just did that while trying to sharpen it.
And that chance is going to get higher and higher the longer that the technology is a thing, as evidenced by us being on Zoom and Zoom having forced AI upscaling that we're not allowed to turn off.
Yeah, so Cirrus's stream looks like it's AI generated.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Technically,
Now, I mean, the benefit of that is that you haven't noticed that the black box that was cutting you off on the right is now cutting you off on the left.
I gave up.
So lean
So-
lean left so that people can see what I'm talking about, and then won't be able to unsee it.
So
Wait,
there's
what? Oh, there. No, lean further. There you go. You see how his boobs cut off?
Yeah. So technically, there's a clause in my contract with Suzu, who did my other model, the one that I've used for years, that says that if I were to use that model for anything AI, I lose rights to the model.
Oh, good lord!
And
I have cost you your model.
yeah, I'm just sitting here like, I know that this doesn't count because I've talked with them like in the last week, and they would have said, "Hey, fucker," but I'm just sitting there like, man, Zoom, fuck
Okay,
you.
I feel like that is more along the lines of like if you generate an AI Cirrus thing and then
Oh
start
no,
using
I know that
that.
that's so I know that's exactly what they meant. So as an example, there was an AI generated. We had to put a policy up: no AI generated fan art. In the fan art section, one because the fan art section is for celebrating artists, and you're not an artist when you're using AI. Sorry, I'm actually
I'm a
not
fan
sorry.
prompter.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Anyway, die. So when there was one AI generated image that was like it obviously was in Suzu's style because it used my model that Suzu had made for a base that somebody used for something. I don't remember what it was. And we immediately went just like, nope, that's deleted and there's a new rule and fuck you and fuck off. No, because they actually came to me with that and they were like, so this thing really pisses me off. And I'm like, yeah, that should piss you off. That means somebody fed your shit that you have copyright on through an AI tool they're not supposed to do.
Yeah, that's bad. Sucks to be an artist right now.
It does. I went on a whole rant about AI generated music yesterday, and one of the things that like somebody came in saying, "What about AI generated VTuber models?" and it made me go on another rant where I was just like, the whole cottage industry that V2 created, where all of a sudden a bunch of artists were able to make a living doing their job who otherwise weren't able to before, and now there are people saying like, no, we deserve these tools, so you don't get to make money off them anymore. Like,
Oh, Fennec is freaking out about AI crochet patterns. I'm guessing they don't really work too well.
I think it's more not wanting to use one that has been generated by AI in the first place, irrespective of its utility.
I feel like AI would be really bad at generating them too, though. So
I mean, it might be, but also remember that a year ago it was bad at generating Will Smith eating pizza.
spaghetti.
Was it spaghetti? It
It
was
was
spaghetti.
spaghetti, but it did it so
was
badly that
spaghetti.
you thought it was pizza.
Stoff says no, crochet AI patterns fucking suck. I don't crochet. and I don't tend to use AI Shark for jack shit, so I had no idea.
Well, I've seen crochet patterns, and they look like exactly the kind of thing that would trip AI up.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, side note about the coffin video. I grabbed this video from an account. They had synced it to music, but the music was copyrighted, so I stripped the music off, and I was going to like look for another music to put on underneath it or whatever, so we could have a little celebration. Couldn't find anything on YouTube's free to use music stuff that worked. So but I was tempted to use one because the artist that made it, that I would have had to credit because that was the license, was Alex Jones, and I thought
Oh.
that would have been funny, but the music was like super duper not appropriate for it.
Mm.
But yeah. Anyway, that's all I want to say about that. Moving on. 1 million moms. Been a while since we talked about them.
Oh, so yeah, 2,000 moms. What are they doing?
I think it's 4,000, sirs. It's about 4,000.
Okay,
And we know that
fine.
because their campaign against the demonic Minions movie has about 4,000 signatures.
Okay, so I'm sorry that I was giving them a conservative estimate since that's their political ideology, but fine, 4,000.
So the Minions movie is demonic now.
Okay.
The new one.
Can I say something? I agree with I actually agree with them on this one. Can I just yeah, no, I agree with this one. If I have to see more minion memes in my lifetime, then I will 100% attribute that to Satan. I'm
But
okay with that.
sirs, they photocopy their butts and then they look at the picture and go, butt.
Yeah, and I understand there's a little bit of seeing myself there. But I don't want that particular mirror. That mirror's ugly.
But I mean, it's funny though. This article's funny. I'm just gonna read the whole thing. It's short. Alerting.
Windows wants me to restart Windows. How about no? Anyway.
Oh, so last time we streamed again. So I'm still on Linux. I still haven't been on Windows for. It's been like a month and a half now. Last time we were streaming, without even thinking about it, I clicked the little icon in my taskbar that said there were updates available, and I just ran the updates. And I realized as I was doing it that one of the updates was to the kernel of the operating system. While we were streaming, it just didn't even occur to me that that might not be a good idea, and I just updated it, and everything worked fine, and it didn't break anything. Can you run Windows updates during the middle of a stream?
Nope.
Didn't think so. Okay, anyway. Alerting all parents. 1 million moms needs your help warning others. Illumination, an animation studio owned by Universal Pictures, is pushing sorcery on families, particularly children,
Uh-huh.
in the new animated movie Minions and Monsters. As the
You know what's wild to me about this? I tend to think of the Satanic Panic as a thing that happened in the past. Um, and the fact that these people exist proves that it never truly ended, and I'm so confused about that.
I feel like
Like,
it's a lot smaller than it was in the past because for the effect that it had without the internet, there had to have been hundreds of tens of thousands at least, but probably hundreds of thousands of people that were on board with it, and then hundreds of thousands more that if they weren't on board, they were at least scared enough to not speak out against it.
oh, I agree that it's smaller than it used to be. I just
Yeah,
I'm
because now,
fascinated that it exists at all.
yeah, but like now there's 4,000 of them, and we laugh at them occasionally because they're freaking out about little orange or little yellow guys playing with Ouija boards or whatever the fuck.
Ouija.
So, as the third installment in the Minions prequel series and the seventh overall film in the combined Despicable Me franchise, this newest edition moves away from its usual storyline of odd, adventurous minions into a dark and strange world filled with occult-like themes. In an attempt to represent mini conjurers as cute characters filled with mischief, I mean, that's what the minions are. They're just like... She's trying to make it sound like these are real things that are sinister.
Well, remember that they believe
No,
that.
she's trying to make it sound like the minions are real things that are sinister.
Remember that
And
they believe that.
the minions, the little yellow guys, they think they're real.
Remember that every single one of these satanic panic troglodytes honestly believes that demonic entities are real and have influence over real people.
Yes, but not that they're the minions, literally.
You want to bet? I bet.
No, I don't want to bet Cirrus, because I want to have more faith in humanity than that.
I want to have more faith in humanity. I don't. I bet I can find a video out there of some fucking pastor pointing to a minion and going, now you see here, this thing has the spirit of Jezebel in it, and I mean that literally. You can see that this thing was pulled right out of the spawn of Satan. I bet you that fucking Baptist pastor somewhere is a thing.
I mean,
because it's always a Baptist pastor.
In my mind, anyone who would say spirit of Jezebel just wants to fuck the thing that has the spirit of Jezebel, so that pastor has a minions kink. Which, I'm not kink shaming, I'm kink asking why.
Yo.
I mean, they are a shape that could be fun.
Yeah,
Just
we
saying.
get it. They're just a fleshlight with eyes. I know.
And that fun includes a spell book, drawing a pentagram. Drawing a pentagram. They're afraid of stars with 5 points. I'll bet you these motherfuckers have American flags in their houses. Do they not know the stars on the American flag are pentagrams?
Nope. They are very, very terrified. Man, I remember the very first scene in the Da Vinci Code where it was going over like what a pentagram is and what it actually means and how it's actually not a satanic symbol, it's a pagan symbol. And I read that book when I was a Christian.
So I remember reading that book as kind of like a response to a challenge, because I had heard someone say that it blows Christianity out of the water.
But it's just fiction.
Yeah, but that's what I read it as like, oh, I'll bet you it doesn't. And then I read it and it was like, yeah, they just made all that shit up.
That's how the movie Zeitgeist was shown to me. It was the exact same thing. He was just like, this is gonna challenge your faith. And I'm just like, it didn't.
Zeitgeist actually stopped me from becoming a 9/11 truther, because like I watched the movie and like for the first 2/3 of the movie it kind of had me on board. It was like, okay,
and then it got to the loose
and then it got
clips.
then it got to the Christianity is just a copy of other religions shit. And I was like, okay, well, half the gods that they say are copies of, or Jesus copied, weren't invented until after Jesus died. So like, no. And then if they're lying to me about all of that bullshit, why should I believe any of the other bullshit they said?
If you've ever
read Zeitgeist actually stopped me from falling down the conspiracy rabbit hole.
If you've ever read Richard Carrier's On the Historicity of Christ, there's an entire set of chapters dedicated exclusively to just debunking that part of Zeitgeist.
Which is funny because, like, that part of Zeitgeist was all about how Jesus didn't really exist, and that's a position Richard Carrier agrees with.
Yep, but his position there was, hey, believe the thing for the right reasons.
You know what's actually funny to me is how often I reference Richard Carrier and Bart Ehrman, like, within the same couple paragraphs of each other. Because, like, a lot of times, whatever claims are being made that I'm countering falls into both of their wheelhouses.
I need to watch their debate again.
Between the two of them?
Yeah, because remember they had the back and forth on their blogs?
I do not remember that.
That reminds me, I need to bug him again. I haven't sent a message in like 3 or 4 months because my brain is just like, I keep forgetting that I actually can.
Okay, so Minions and Monsters is advertised as family-friendly fun. That fun includes a spell book, drawing a shape, magic, dark rituals, and a former warlock boss to summon monsters.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And I'm supposed to care why? 4,000 moms?
Because stars with 5 points are scary.
Yeah, you're right. America is scary. We have a shock and awe campaign, and we can't win a war against Iran.
Oh, yeah, but spellbooks are also scary.
Yeah, books that make me learn how to spell things are in fact scary if I'm conservative. You're right.
The Bible clearly tells us in Isaiah 8:19 through 22 that there is a spiritual realm not of God. I mean, I feel like...
And minions exist in that realm.
Yeah, okay, sure. Fine. Fuck you. Fuck your face.
Ah, fuck your watering hole.
Fuck your minion.
It's not mine, but you know, if you need it used, here you go. One minion slightly used.
Oh. There's probably a market for used fleshlights somewhere.
I mean, there's a market for used panties.
I I feel like that's a much bigger market than the one for used fleshlights, but I feel like the used fleshlight one is out there.
And I know I only found out about the market for used panties because when I had a PO box, somebody sent them to me.
Oh, that's funny.
I was so confused.
Like they sent you their own, or they like ordered them from someone else?
It was ordered from someone else because it had like not a brochure attached to it, but like it came in a fancy envelope and it was obviously from a business that was supposed to sell these.
Olivia Williams says, "I bet 4,000 moms believe Cthulhu is real." Yeah, so
I mean,
take solace in the
actually
fact
they do.
probably, yeah.
Because if you've ever seen what is it, Darkest Dungeon? No, it's the D&D anti propaganda film. Like Cthulhu is a character in that specifically that causes suicides.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back to the used panties thing, though. You can take solace in the fact that I'm fairly certain that most of those are fake because I know enough about this industry to know that there is a spray that a lot of the women who are selling them use. Like, if I spritz it with this, it smells like vagina without me having to actually wear it. So that way they can send out like 15 pairs a day if they have to.
You just have to make it smell like fish. I mean, that's all you do.
Just ship it with some fish oil supplements wrapped up in it.
Jesus Christ. Maces and Monsters. Yeah.
Fennec is asking how I know this. It's been a long time since I found out about this. Maybe it's not how they do it anymore. I don't know. But I don't remember how I know this. You're just going to have to take it on faith.
Yeah. Just take it on faith. Just
Come
right up your watering hole.
You guys know me. If it was actually my thing, I wouldn't care if you think that it's my thing, so I'd just tell you. So, like, if you like sniffing used panties, go for it. Have fun. The ones you buy online are probably fake.
I'll judge you for it.
Again, not kink shaming, just kink asking why.
Maybe getting kink shamed is their kink.
In which case, yes, I'm kink shaming you. Source, trust me, bro. Yeah, absolutely. Trust me. I know.
God damn it, Stuff!
What did Staff do? Did he owe you?
Just sent me a fucking minion fleshlight.
Is there actually a minion fleshlight?
Oh no, this is a drawing. This is a drawing and the minion's very much alive.
So I was just about to Google that, and then I remembered that I have my thing set up as a screen share now instead of just capturing one specific window. So I'm like, nope, can't Google fleshlight stuff on stream.
Yeah, maybe don't do that.
So now I'm like, now that I think about it probably is a thing. There probably is a minion attachment for a fleshlight or something.
Their attachment, I'm fairly certain that they are made bespoke. Like
Sure.
There are so many like just cheap sex toy websites now. When I freshly became an adult, the first time I went into a sex store, I saw a fleshlight and it was like $80-$90. Now you can get them on Amazon for like 15.
Yeah,
like there's so many people that are made, not the genuine article, but like it's a silicone tube with fleshy feeling. Like that's one of them's gonna be like a billion others. Except for those weird ones that are like, this is the specific own a hole of your Oshi. Like that, those ones are fucking weird to me.
Those ones are weird to me because it's like, it's just the outside. that is that. So it's not like if they had a way to mold the inside, then I could see it. But if it's just the outside, it's like, why?
I think the reason that it skeeves me is because the words I used, that's specifically VTubers.
Okay.
Like that one's just, yes, it is the vagina shaped like this 2D image. You get a paper cut when you fuck it.
Okay.
Pernia says, "What about the M&M tube from Reddit?" No, 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 Pernia. That's a cylinder.
I know that reference.
It's a cylinder. It is very important to maintain the structural integrity of the cylinder.
Oh, lordy. Okay. Piper, leave all the sex toy stuff with the 1 million moms thing when you're editing, because I'm sure they would love to be adjacent to that conversation.
Oh, I know they would. Because they're all fucking weird.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. This was sent to me by E.T. Benson and Laura Schiltz.
What we got here?
U.S. judge voids Donald Trump's $1.8 billion settlement with the IRS that gave him immunity for tax audits.
Oh. Huh.
Now, from what I read, what this judge did fell short of actually voiding this whole thing. However, Trump has not been following through. Like, there was... I forget the details, but there was, like, Trump failed to do something that would have been required in order to make this actually happen. So, like, it's not happening because when has Trump ever promised to give out money and actually followed through on it?
You know, that $2,000 that was supposed to be sent out to everybody, it still hasn't materialized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, like, is anybody surprised that Trump promised a bunch of people money and then didn't give it to them? But, anyway, that technicality aside, let's read the article.
Sure.
A U.S. judge has voided a legal agreement between President Donald Trump and federal agencies that granted him immunity from tax audits and allowed his administration to create a since abandoned... Yeah, so this is what I mean. It's already been abandoned $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund. Also, from what I remember hearing, I think it was a Legal Eagle video, it was never actually specified that it was $1.8 billion in any of the paperwork. That was just what they were saying. But the way they did it, it was technically unlimited. Like, there was no upper limit on how much money they could give out.
That makes it worse.
It does make it worse. But, like, the fact that all the news articles were running with the 1.8 billion number without fact-checking it is kind of alarming.
It's because oftentimes a lot of news articles are just written by people who've read another news article and then they're copying it over.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I have to use the restroom real quick. I apologize.
How dare.
Yep, well, I dare kind of like this.
No, don't turn your camera on for that. We don't need to see it. There's been enough kink talk on this show tonight already. We don't need urine play to be added to the mix. It's a gross smelling mix at this point. Trump promises money, company sells monorail. Sounds similar. Yeah, okay. If that's a reference to the Simpsons episode, though, they actually did sell the monorail. They just cheaped out on it so that it was not safe and broke down. And, like, killed people. But, like, they delivered it. I blame y'all for my inability to pass a display of M&M minis in the checkout without giggling enough to draw questioning looks from the other shoppers in line. Oh... And then Colleen Waitley says, presumably regarding Minion fleshlights, of course there is one, Rhino. I don't need to check that it exists. I'm opening a browser on a different screen so that you guys can't see it. And I'm Googling Minion fleshlight. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. There's one where you can fuck the eye hole. Oh, good Lord. I think it's safe to show. It's not... It's a Minion flashlight. Oh, good lord. I'm leaving that up for when Cirrus gets back. Actually, no. I'm gonna put it over here. Oh, excuse me. Give you my phone. That won't help. My phone is here. I did not Google that on my phone. You can have my phone. Oh, God. Oh, I hurt myself. I hurt myself laughing at that. Okay. I'm going to... While we're waiting for Cyrus, I'm sending a picture of that to my partner. Oh, excuse me. Don't laugh, it gives you the hiccups. This is the rest of the stream now. It's going to be me hiccuping. Oh. I have water. I will drink water. No good. Isn't a minion fleshlight just a banana? Yeah, you could fuck a banana. That is definitely a thing that could be done. Oh, God. This hat's too hot. Sorry, it's got to go. Oh, good. There's a new hat anyway. Nope, that's a hydrate. So this is the trick that my mother tries to convince me works, is you hold your nose while you're drinking the water. And then it goes away. But that doesn't actually work. It's never worked for me. You know what does work is a spoonful of sugar, though. Not to make the medicine go down, but because it confuses your sympathetic nervous system, the thing that's in control of everything. Because hiccuping is still not fully understood, but it is thought that hiccuping is you trying to breathe through your lungs like your fish ancestors did. And since you don't have lungs, it just does a weird thing. And when you have a spoonful of sugar or something with like a bunch of little tiny granules, it forces your brain to like concentrate on something that would normally be automatic, and that kind of serves as a reset. And holding my breath for 20 seconds does not help. No, holding my breath does not help. That has never worked for me. It has often made me hiccup worse. That is a long pee, Cirrus. The idea is to increase your carbon dioxide level? Okay, then I should be fine here. I have a CO2 sensor in my office and the levels get ridiculous here. Hey, woman lady.
Yeah?
Can you get me a spoonful of sugar?
Would you like some medicine too?
No, just the sugar. I have the hiccups. Sable Ming says, got it, going to eat sand to fix hiccups now. Yeah, that would probably do it, but arguably hiccups are less unpleasant than sand in your mouth. Yes, woman lady. She's my woman lady. EB the Nerd says, I remember being told that drinking a glass of water upside down stops hiccups, but I have no idea what that means. I have no idea how that would be accomplished. Thank you. It was a big spoon. Okay, no, nobody say anything and they'll be gone. See, they're gone. They're gone. Sugar works.
I live.
You live. For now, because I have a thing that I need to show you.
Oh, wait, hold on. Is it going to kill me?
Bah! So I Googled that the moment you left, and it made me laugh so hard I got the hiccups. So the entire time you were gone was spent with me trying to get rid of the hiccups, which culminated in Heidi bringing me a spoonful of sugar, which did the trick.
Uh-huh.
So you want to fuck a minion in the eye hole? Duct tape Jake says, don't say I, Cirrus.
I'm just going to eat my gelato now.
There's probably a fleshlight for that. Yep, there is, but those ones are less safe to show on stream, so I'm not going to. So there you go. Eat your gelato. Enjoy.
It doesn't taste as good now.
You should spritz it with the dirty panty spray.
It's dark chocolate gelato.
Oh, God. Did you get it from the watering hole? Oh, what are we even doing here anymore, Cirrus?
Our best, but realistically,
Is this our best?
I don't think we bring our best to the show. I know what your videos sound like when you're trying it. I know what my videos sound like when I'm trying, and I don't think either of us are doing that right now.
This show is just it's a good idea for YouTubers to also live stream, so let's fucking get it out of the way show.
Razor says, you have a best? I have a better, as in my better half, and she's eating gelato in the other room.
When you say you love me, you say... Or no. When I say... No, when you say you love me, I say no. I forget how the song goes, but it's a good song. You better, you better, you bet.
Senshini says, that will never do.
You say you bet. That's how it goes.
That will never do. You should try somebody else's best. The list of people whose best I would try right now is shockingly small.
I tried doing Cirrus's best, but he wouldn't consent.
This is true.
Anyway. And
Anyway.
I'm not a rapist. So, speaking of not a rapist, you remember that movie that we talked about earlier with Uwe Boll? Or Uwe Boll's movie?
Mm-hmm.
The main character in it was played by Armie Hammer, who has been credibly accused of a bunch of nasty sex stuff. And then the whole premise of the movie was, these illegal immigrants keep raping people. And that's bad, so I need to kill them.
So how much more do we have to talk about Donald Trump's taxes?
What's really... okay, fine, I'll stop talking about Uwe Boll.
I mean, feel free to talk about the old Boll thing. I'm just wondering...
Oh, this is a long article. We have barely started. Yeah, no. So probably the funniest aspect of that movie is that, like, it's all about how the illegal immigrants are a bunch of rapists. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, it takes place in Croatia, and it's starring Armie Hammer, the American, speaking in an American accent. And I think they actually make it explicit in the movie that he is not in the country legally.
I think that's why when Mehdi Hassan took Uwe Boll to task, I think that was one of the defenses that he used, if memory serves. But he's the good illegal immigrant who just murdered a bunch of cops in his apartment.
I hear the things that you don't want to say on stream. I'm hearing them in your head.
I'm eating gelato. That's what I'm doing.
Yep.
That's my cover story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right. U.S. District Judge Kathleen Williams said the suit was filed for an improper purpose. You think? Mm-hmm. She also referred to Trump lawyer to state. She also referred a Trump lawyer to state authorities to determine whether ethics rules were violated and disciplinary action required. I looked it up. There have been 22 Trump lawyers in the last 10 years that have been referred to that, like, they've been subject to various forms of sanctions or disciplinary actions or disbarment. I think only 4 of them have actually been disbarred, but, like, if you're a Trump lawyer, you're getting in trouble at some point.
Yep. Well, because to be a Trump lawyer, you have to already be willing to work with unscrupulous people.
Mm-hmm. The lawsuit was never about a party seeking judicial resolution of a legal issue or factual dispute between Trump and the IRS, which he controls as president. She described the settlement as a bid to provide some legitimacy to an agreement to confer immunity to people and entities affiliated with the president, and to earmark billions of dollars from American taxpayers to redress grievances not defined in the law. So, yeah.
I mean, that is all true. When you have that, when you're like, yeah, the money from this is going to be used for the pardon January Sixers. Yeah, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, and so the initial lawsuit all stems back to, the IRS did nothing to prevent the leak of his private tax information by the former IRS contractor Charles Littlejohn. Which, Littlejohn is a weird last name. Can I just say that?
It's just you, your friends, and your Johnson.
I feel like I am of an ethnicity that is allowed to make fun of the last name Littlejohn. So the leaked tax information shows that in 2016, in 2020, he paid $750 in federal income taxes. Oh no, that was 2016, and no taxes at all in 10 of the previous 15 years. So I know we reported on that when it happened.
I paid more in taxes than he did.
So did I.
What? No! Fucking hell.
Isn't it so nice to know that we pay more in taxes than people that can actually afford to pay taxes?
It's so cool and great and good and based and wonderful and God, I am so MAGA pilled now.
I mean, gotta protect the billionaires. You might be one day.
Hey, back off the multi-billion-dollar corporation, bud.
Yeah, so he put a bunch of his personal lawyers in charge of the DOJ, and then he came to a settlement with the DOJ. And shocking, it was in his favor.
Walmart has investigated Walmart and found that Walmart didn't do anything wrong.
Basically. That's this whole administration.
Yep.
So yeah, she found that
what's going on in Maine with the ICE shootings, and the DOJ is like, we're going to do an investigation. Like, oh, the DOJ is going to investigate the DOJ? Okay, cool.
How many have there been now? 3 in the last week?
Mm-hmm.
Why you got to bring
shootings are Look, I'm going to say a statement that's going to piss you off, but it's also a true statement. ICE shootings are starting to catch up with school shootings in America.
I mean, if you had to choose between the two, I'd rather it be adults than kids, but you aren't choosing between the two. You're saying, why not both?
Or, the thing that would get me shot if an ICE agent were here, ¿por qué no los dos?
Well, when I say why not both, I'm always picturing the scene from, I think it's Road to El Dorado with Miguel and Tulio.
Yeah, the why not both? Yeah, both is good.
Yeah.
Mine's always the taco commercial.
Oh, that's a Disney movie with a blowjob in it.
Was Road to El Dorado was DreamWorks.
Was it DreamWorks? Okay, well,
yeah.
There's a blowjob in it.
I mean, good.
Not an explicit one, but it's very obvious that they were going for that.
Oh, yeah.
Why not
I need to watch
neither?
that movie
That
again.
would be the ideal. That's what we have here in Canada. I mean, we did have a school shooting like 6 months ago, and that was like national news and a big deal. But like that's the one. So, yeah, neither is the countries that have reasonable gun controls. And hey, you know the biggest problem with guns in Canada? It's illegal guns that make their way in here from the States. Most of
You have the
most of the crimes committed with guns in Canada, the guns trace back to the States.
Yeah, you have the Chicago problem,
Yeah.
where Chicago guns are banned from the insides of Chicago, but everybody can get guns from outside Chicago, so Chicago has a gun problem.
Also, speaking of guns, Cyrus, I have been looking at my messy desk, and your comment earlier about how the gun is on your desk.
Yeah.
I've been fidgeting with this 3D printed doodad, which is just a bit of low voltage electrical that I printed. I've been fidgeting with this doodad, which is Ethernet jack thing that the other thing is for, like sticking my fingers in there and twirling it around. I've been fidgeting with the remote for my camera. I've been fidgeting with my goddamn keys.
Yeah?
You can't put a gun on the desk beside me. Something would die, probably me.
I wouldn't put the gun on the desk beside you.
Yeah, but you have the same issue as me.
Right, but the difference is that I play video games in the background, so my hands are always doing something. Like, you know what I'm doing this whole time? I've been playing Diablo 3.
Do you know how Diablo 3? Diablo 2, I think, is the one that I played. But do you know how many times I've like listened back to the audio from the streams and been like, oh shit, that thing I was fidgeting with got picked up by the microphone every time.
Oh, that happens to me when I'm recording and I'm listening to it back, like for the Magic channel, and I popped my knuckles inadvertently while I was doing something. I always hear it in there, and I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. I can hear me popping my knuckles every time. Somebody in the comments one time commented on the noise and said, I hope that's not what I think it is. I never asked that person what they thought it was, because I don't know what else that would sound like.
Well, I would just assume that they thought it was cracking your knuckles, and then they were about to be like, oh, that causes arthritis, which it
doesn't.
I think last time I looked into it, it didn't. However, my this is another I'm over 40 moment. My super mobile thumb joint, which I used to be able to do cool things with, I can't anymore because I assume it's arthritis because it just really hurts now.
Man, that just describes being an adult. I don't understand, but it really hurts now.
Yeah, no, I don't know why it hurts. It just does. And it was an overnight thing. It didn't hurt one day, and then the next it was like, ow, my thumb really hurts. Why is that? And it has just been constant ever since. Mr. Plow King is cleaning his guns at the moment. Yeah, no, I would not trust me with a gun. Which is why I don't have see, I'm doing it. I wasn't even thinking about that. I just picked it up and started twirling it on my finger. So, like, if there was a gun here, I would do that and then shoot myself in the head on stream accidentally. I was not Twitch. No, don't take me down, Twitch. I was saying a thing that would happen if I had a gun. I don't have one. I don't plan on doing it. It's not a thing. Don't take me down.
I 3D printed a speed loader for my gun.
I 3D print Ethernet jacks for my office that I'm building in the garage, it's getting close to being done.
I 3D print shelves and deck boxes for Magic the Gathering, and now also Riftbound.
I'm going to be moving to the garage soon. Like maybe month and a half.
3D print shelves. They're great.
I haven't decided what I'm doing for a studio when I'm over there. I know where it's going to be. I just don't know what's going to be behind me.
So you know what's going to be in your watering hole.
Sure. Oh, I actually need to find one of my other microphones for streaming because I don't want to have to keep moving my mic around. I guess I could use my lav mic for recording the videos, but this mic is just so much better.
What's behind you? Your past. Thanks, Jen. Now
yeah,
I know
that's what I see every night when I go to bed.
There.
Do you know how many times I think about that time when I was running beside a bus to like wave goodbye to one of my school friends and I ran face first into a street sign?
Oh man, that sounds funny as hell.
It was funny as hell. But I'm like, man, those people that saw me do that have probably never thought of it since. But they could think of it. And that would be embarrassing.
If you
Meanwhile,
want...
now my job is such that there is video of me on the internet jumping on my bed in women's lingerie, so what the fuck ever. It's my job to embarrass myself now.
So I forget what it was, but there was one of my friends where we were playing Magic a few years ago mentioned something about how like we should embarrass ourselves doing. I wish I could remember what it was. Like this has been a while now, and I just looked him straight in the eye and just went, "You know what I do for my job, right? You can't embarrass me."
I did a video. So you remember that Cameron Bertuzzi video where he's like, "This is why I don't take atheists seriously."
Yeah.
So when I did my response to that, when I dressed up in my Rhino onesie,
the amount of comments I get where people are like, do you really think somebody's going to take you seriously when you use this model? That's not really part of what I give a shit about, actually.
Hey guys, a good chunk of this stream has been about minion fleshlights and weird kinks. If you're taking us seriously, something has gone very wrong in your life.
Like, by all means, take the words I say seriously if you want, and that's fair. But bear in mind, I'm on here having fun. Because if I'm not on here having fun,
then it's a mental breakdown.
I probably want to shoot myself. Like those are the two options.
Cirrus,
I either have fun.
You can't say that when I know where your gun is.
It's in my pants, actually.
Oh god, that's worse. You get how that's worse, right?
Yes, I do, but also understand that my nerve.
Gender affirming care, this bitch.
This pill is a 9mm variety. It smells of freedom.
I was thinking more along the lines of just making a hole where there used to be a penis.
Oh. But no, like I also have my Nerf guns behind me, so I could literally just go. I used to actually do that a lot when I used camera more. I would do the bit where I was just like, this shit makes me want to shoot myself.
Oh.
I did shoot the camera too, but
well,
a lot of times I would just
speaking of gender affirming care, that segues into our next news item.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's gender affirming this care.
Don't gender affirming care with a gun, please. Amnesty removes a report that called J.K. Rowling Center anti-rights. So J.K. Rowling is now going to war with a human rights organization because they were like, hey, she's trying to restrict trans people's rights. And she was like, you can't say that. And they were like, okay, we'll take it down because she's a fucking billionaire.
We fold to money.
We fold to money. She's got a lot of power. And on top of that, the libel laws in England are such that it probably was the right move to take it down. Because they would have, if she decided to sue them, that would be a lot of money that they would have to waste on defending themselves. And they're Amnesty International. They've got better things to do with their money than that. So I get why they took it down. It was the correct move to take it down. J.K. Rowling's a piece of shit for making them take it down.
I'll host the article myself. Grab it from the Wayback Machine. I'll host it myself. Fuck it.
I don't have the link. Pink News didn't link to it directly. They do have another article where they quote it extensively. But, yeah. So, Amnesty International UK has removed a report which labeled J.K. Rowling Sexual Abuse Crisis Center, Beyres Place, not sure how to pronounce that, as anti-rights, saying it is going through an internal review. So it's a woman-only shelter that excludes trans women from its definition in accordance with how the British Supreme Court has ruled on definitions of biological sex.
So they get to do the same thing that the Salvation Army does when it discriminates against gay people in all of the, quote, good that it does. Cool.
Yeah,
I'm glad that,
basically.
I'm glad that the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah, so J.K. Rowling is a bigot. And she is threatening human rights organizations in order to not be called a bigot.
How dare you say mean words about me, ma'am? You wrote an entire book that argued that a psychopathic killer was cross-dressing specifically so that you could get your fetish off about it. I don't care.
And she wrote it under a man's pen name. Like, really?
Yeah.
So, in the list, in the article preceding the list, they said they were looking at anti-rights actors, which are formal or informal groups, individuals, private and state actors whose aim is to restrict human rights by undermining human rights protections in law and practice. So the fact that she is using the law to be like, we are excluding trans people, like that fits exactly within how they defined it. And among those, oh yeah, this is going to ruin John Cleese for a lot of people. I mean, it's been pretty obvious that he's not really a great guy for years now, but yeah, he's in on this too, on J.K. Rowling's side.
Please don't tell me that Stephen Fry is on J.K. Rowling's side. I know
I have not seen anything about Stephen Fry being on that side.
I know he voiced the Harry Potter books for the UK audience, but I don't want to find out that he also is in her camp.
I don't think he is. Well, he has publicly criticized J.K. Rowling.
Okay. That's...
And so that's as far as I'm going to look into that, because this is one of those things where, like, the more you learn about people that you like, the less you like them. So yeah, John Cleese said, I was once a major fundraiser for Amnesty, but in those days it was about preventing torture, not about sexual identity. I disowned them.
But the sexual identity thing is about people not being able to afford food, not being able to get a job, not being able to live with their families.
Also,
not being able to be accepted by society.
Conversion therapy is torture, and that's a thing that J.K. Rowling is advocating for.
Man, you're reminding me. I need to check into Milo Yiannopoulos again.
Oh no,
because he wants to set up conversion therapy.
Nobody needs to check in on Milo Yiannopoulos. We need to yeet him into the sun.
I mean, then we can check on him during the next solar flare.
Sure.
How's he doing? Extra crispy.
Rowling's post, which just, like, she is a piece of shit. Like, she's just not a good person. I don't care what your opinion is of Harry Potter. She's just not a good person. So she posted the article and said, translation, oops, didn't realize people outside this is in response to them pulling the article. So it said, translation, oops, didn't realize people outside our ideological bubble are this pissed off about the loss of sex-based rights. We remain implacably opposed to any organization fighting to retain them, but shove the words rights of women to keep the bigots happy. But shove in the words rights of women to keep...
So, ma'am, you do understand that trans women having rights does not actually take rights away from cis women?
No, she does not understand that.
Rights are not a zero-sum game.
She does not understand that. Because she doesn't see trans women as women, so if you allow a trans woman into a woman's shelter, that's actually letting a man in. And letting a man in would actually be violating their rights. But trans women are significantly more vulnerable to the kind of abuse that would require shelter.
Correct.
So,
if you are against trans women being in homeless shelters that are for women, you are inadvertently pro-rape of trans women, because that is the logical conclusion that happens in reality that stems from that decision.
I'll do you one better. As a billionaire, if she's against someone being in a homeless shelter, she has the ability to buy them a home so they don't need the homeless shelter.
She'll never do that, though.
No, she won't do that. But she has the ability to. So if she actually cared, she could just fix the issue. She also said, and I'm sorry you guys can't see this because of where my crop finishes, but she also said, it appears that, as many of us have suspected for years, Amnesty believes certain kinds of humans don't deserve rights. Women, girls, and those who are proudly same-sex attracted. I hope donors... Yeah, like, no, this is just, anti-trans hate-mongering. That's all it is. You remember the good old days when J.K. Rowling would pretend to not be anti-trans and be like, you can't prove that I'm anti-trans, therefore I'm not.
We can now.
It's like, no, you're fully mask off at this point. Like, you wrote a book that resonated with trans people as an allegory. And now you're just like, no, that's not what I meant.
Like, it's sad. So, like, even there's a bunch of things that I think Harry Potter inadvertently did. One, there's a bunch of people who the only book they've ever fucking read is Harry Potter, which is saddening.
Yeah.
On the other hand, there's also people who learned to love reading because of Harry Potter. And like when I do want kids. And one of the things I wanted to do with my kids when I got kids was every time they hit a year that they would have been in Hogwarts, I was going to hand them the Harry Potter book for that year, because that would have mirrored the experience of growing up with the books, and there's something magical about watching a character grow up with you. I wanted to do that. I could not even bring myself to think of doing that now, because the questions you have to answer after that to the kid.
Yeah, and like, I know there are issues with the story that everybody has made a million video essays about.
I think that there would be fewer people who did video essays about Harry Potter being a badly written story if it wasn't written by a bigot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think fewer people would care.
Oh, gotta hydrate. Thank you, Conton83. Although I have just started reading I've started reading Snuff by Terry Pratchett, which is arguably his response to how J.K. Rowling handled the House Elves situation. At least that's what Sean said in his video about it. Which I fucking hate that he chose that as his YouTube name, because now it sounds pretentious for me to be like, oh yeah, Sean, my buddy. It sounds like we're on a first name basis. This is my buddy Sean. No, I've never met the guy. But his YouTube channel name is Sean.
You know what's so there is a book series that I will always recommend to people that actually has...
Is it the Ursula K. Le Guin one?
No. It has the Fey beings that the House Elves are based off of, canonically in the story, and they are handled better. And it's the Dresden Files, because the House Elves are based off of the Brownies. And in the Dresden Files, when he does a major favor for the Fey Courts, he gets an army of brownies that just clean his apartment for him, but they specifically will only ever clean his apartment when he's not there. And it's them doing a favor for him that they have power to rescind at any point. Like, if he tells anybody that they're actually doing the favor for him, they automatically rescind the favor right there. They're just like, no. That's... like, they get to write all of the rules for how they comport with Dresden.
I don't know why, but I thought the Dresden Files was written by Kurt Vonnegut.
No.
But then I looked it up, and it's like, it was written in 2007 by some, like, Jason Brown, I guess?
No, Jim Butcher.
Jim Butcher, sure. Initials
Wingless.
JB, and it's a generic name.
Wingless Paratrooper says, and the Dresden Files are a better book series about a wizard named Harry. So, okay, fun thing. There's a series of videos about a guy who's running a villain support hotline, and when he's running villain support for Voldemort, Voldemort's going, okay, look, I tried to use my killing curse on Harry. It didn't work, and now there's fireballs being aimed at me. Everything is burning to the ground. I don't understand. There's a giant shaggy dog trying to rip my ankles off. I am so overwhelmed. What is going on? And the guy at the other end is going, hold on a minute. Harry. Different Harry? Is he 7 feet tall and he's got a trench coat? Fucking run! Leave! There's nothing you can do!
So Olivia Williams for $7 Canadian says, people did realize how bad the writing was because of her politics. It shed a new light on the books. So I will say my own personal experience with that is that I've never actually read the books. I've only ever listened to the audiobooks, and my version was Jim Dale I think Jim Dale did a phenomenal job with them. I'm sure Stephen Fry was fine as well.
I've listened to both Dale's and Fry's. I prefer Fry's.
Okay. But I do remember certain aspects of it bothering me, not necessarily writing style wise, but like how much she was harping on how fat Dudley was. Like stuff like that. It did bother me, but it didn't really register. And then when I started seeing like the video essays on it, I was like, oh yeah, that did bother me. But I'm also kind of hesitant to actually say that because I, like, as someone who has spoken and like read a bunch of literature on how easy it is to create false memories, I'm like, did I actually think that when I first listened to them on audiobook? Or do I just feel like I think that and I have now created a false memory accidentally? So, I don't actually know, but I feel like it did sort of bother me, but it never really, like, I was able to kind of put it aside.
Yeah, Ravi and Lenari are talking about the stereotypes associated with the kids. So, like, another thing to note, though, is that tons of authors, good and bad, fall back, especially when they're writing, like, an ensemble cast, will fall back on tropes and will fall back into stereotypes. It's not always a judgment call on the author if they do or if they don't. It just so happens that with J.K. Rowling, we know she's a bigot, so we have a really good lens to see what those stereotypes look like through her.
Yeah, like, well, one of the things that I like to think really did rub me the wrong way was like how nothing really changed systemically.
Oh yeah, no. So so before we even knew her politics, one of the jokes that was always thrown about Harry Potter was that it was the Millennial Book of Theory, and the reason that it was the Millennial Book of Theory is ultimately the beginning and the end of the book is let us maintain the status quo. Like the entirety of the book series is we need to maintain the status quo. Which,
yeah,
to be fair, again.
Like Harry spends half the books fighting against Aurors who are being the bad guys, and then at the end of them he's like, I want to be an Auror when I grow up.
Yeah. The system will magically not be corrupt now that I am the one in charge.
To quote the last line of the book after he thought about having his slave make him a sandwich.
But again, another thing to note is that when you're doing storytelling, there are a handful of types of stories. There's a limited amount of them, and two of the hero's journey type stories are the world is fundamentally wrong, allow me to write it, or something has fundamentally went wrong with the world, allow me to bring us back to where we were.
So that's where Snuff comes in. Now I'm not done reading it yet. I'm still like in the very beginning of it. There's no chapters in it, so I can't tell you how far in I am. I think I'm somewhere around page 100. But that's one of the things that Sean brought up in his video is that it doesn't necessarily fix the systemic issues, but at least it acknowledges them as issues and has the main character do what he can towards fixing them in the book.
As opposed to making fun of Spew?
Yeah. As opposed to just being like, that's the way it is. Oh, they like being slaves. It's like, no, let's get to know this character.
Like, so I had the conversation about the Harry Potter stuff with a friend of mine who's a VTuber on stream. We actually did a video series on it. And she brought up the fact that the house elves were made after the brownies, and so it's actually not technically slavery. And I'm just like, yes, but if you read other books that have the brownies in them and see how they're treated in those books, and then look at the house elves are just treated like slaves. Like that's like they, regardless of the fact that they are made after the brownies, the characters that are made as house elves are in fact enslaved.
Yeah. Like they work for no money and can be freed. That sounds like slavery.
Like you could write a version of the house elves where that's not the case. You could. It would be very easy to, and she chose not to. She even exclusively chose to have a character whose view on the situation was that this is not right, and then that character was made fun of for those ideas, and then she dropped them as she got older. Like, it was literally Hermione had a phase where she was an activist, and that's it. She was a phase mom.
Being anti-slavery was just a phase.
So, like, again, I will generally say, as I always will say about that series, we scrutinize it more because we know about the author.
Yes.
Just like we know more about H.P. Lovecraft, so when we see how he depicts black people, for instance, we're just like, yeah,
Google
no,
the
they're
name
not
of his
all
cat.
creepy shamans. When we know about I mean, I'm talking about just within the literature, though.
I know. I'm just saying, don't Google
But I
H.P.
know-
Lovecraft cat name.
But yeah, we know what he named his cat as well. Like, because we know that about the author, we can add that extra lens of scrutiny to what's there. We don't always get that opportunity with every author. For all I know, several of the authors who've written stuff that I love are also bigots. They just don't happen to be as famous and as vocal as this one.
I'm sorry. I have to say the name now.
Yeah?
Neil Gaiman.
I don't think I've actually read anything from him.
No? Okay.
No, what's he...
Sandman, Good
Nope.
Omens.
I've watched Good Omens, but I haven't read it.
What's that? There's another one. I forget. There's a lot that he's done that I have enjoyed, and then it came out that he's not just a sex pest. He's like one of the worst types of sex pest there is. It's like, oh.
With children?
No, I don't think any allegations were about children. But it's like sadistic shit, grooming
Okay.
shit, power dynamics shit. American Gods, that's the other one. Those are the big ones that he's probably most well known for. There's a bunch more. And I hate how much of a piece of shit he is because I have really enjoyed a lot of his stuff.
Yeah, that's... The more you know
And-
about people who do things...
like-
Like, there's...
So this is where, like, you talk about separating the author from the art, separating the artist from the art sort of thing, and like setting aside that he's still alive, so if you get stuff from him legally, he's still benefiting from it, so that there's a moral aspect there. Setting that aside, I now have this issue where, like, when I'm listening to an audiobook or watching a show or whatever that I know he has written, I'm just like, I that's all I can think about is this guy
you
is
can't-
a horrible
can't
sex pest.
unthink about it.
Like it's not even about like I now think his stuff is bad. It is that I can't even get to a point where I can analyze it to be bad or good because I'm just distracted by who he is.
So I'm likely going to be re-going through the Harry Potter audiobooks at some point. And I have not read the series since I started fighting as hard as I do for trans rights. So I don't know what's going to go on in my head while I'm rereading it. It may very well be that halfway through Sorcerer's Stone, I just drop it and go, I can't. I don't know. We will see. And I'll probably make a video about like what it's like to read Harry Potter in 2026 or something like that, because that may be something that somebody is interested in. Who knows? But
You know, I'm not gonna lie. Even though they all make the exact same points, every time I see a video recommended to me by YouTube about the problems with Harry Potter, I click the shit out of that.
yeah,
Every goddamn time. It was like they all make the exact same points. They talk about the same shit. It's been done to death. I watch every one of them.
it is a dead horse, and we beat it because it's fun.
Yes. So yeah, go ahead and make that video, if for no one else than me.
Okay, fair. It will be a live stream clip. I will basically just set up notes and then talk about it live, but still.
That is okay. You are one of the only creators who I can watch live stream clips of, and that's probably because that's the only way we interact is in a live stream. So it's like, yeah, that's what I know of Suros.
That's fair. See, I thought it was going to be an actual like judgment call on me doing well as a content creator and
Nope.
something, but nope,
Nope.
it's entirely biased.
It's
know what?
entirely, this is experientially the way it is for me.
I'll take that as well. I'll take the bias. Why not?
I remember liking your videos back when you scripted them with your male avatar.
Boy, I have news for you. I didn't script then either.
Okay.
Like I've probably done a grand total of 10 videos with a script in my entire time on YouTube, maybe 20. What I normally do is I will set up notes and I will have those notes on a monitor and I'll use those to keep track of where I am and what I should be doing. And if it's like a research heavy video, then I'll have quotations and stuff there maybe, or I'll have it highlighted on whatever thing that I'm having to quote from. But
I can't. I need to have all my thoughts written out properly.
no,
If I don't have the sentence in front of me on the teleprompter, I can't, like, you can actually tell I'm better at it than I used to be. But it used to be you could tell when I was going off script because that was the only time I would start saying ums and uhs because I'm just bad at not saying them. And like suddenly my sentence structure goes to shit and like I have a different cadence. Like I know, like, as a viewer watching, it's probably not that jarring, but as the person making the video that knows where I had a script and where I didn't, it was incredibly jarring to me.
For me, the one that I don't use a lot of ums and ahs. I managed to beat that out of me, but the way that I did it was adding in filler words.
Like,
or
fuck.
instead of ums and ahs, it would be something like me going something to the idea of kind of sort of like that exact thing that I just did right there is what it would be. And it
Kinda,
makes
sorta?
the sentences it makes the sentences longer, but it adds nothing to it. But it physically stops me from saying
So,
it stops me from saying ah.
Eli Bosnick of God Awful Movies fame, who I will be starring on God Awful Movies on Tuesday.
Hell yeah.
If I promote that. So Eli Bosnick has a funny story of when he took his kid to preschool because being a foul-mouthed podcaster for years, he did the same thing as you where he turned, like, he would use words instead of ums and ah, like he would find filler words, and his main go-to filler word was all the variants of the word fuck. And so first day he's dropping his kid off at preschool and she asks him a question and he's like, I don't know, fucking shit, I shouldn't have said that. Like, so that's the first impression that his preschooler parents got. And obviously he told the story way better than me. I have no fucking idea which podcast of his it's on or which episode it's on. So have fun listening to all the back catalogs if you actually want to hear the story.
CL in the chat goes, so what's worse, filler words making one potentially sound more AI-like, or filler words that are more genuinely human?
I just pronounce
it's
M- out loud when I'm talking.
It's not that. It's something else, and I need to say this 3 times. Oh, and the one that's been integrating itself into AI recently, I need to say the particular something. That's a phrase that's been working its way into AI recently that's confused the fuck out of me.
I need to say the particular something?
So, as an example, let's say that we're talking about a police officer, and the police officer's walking. The way the AI might describe it is the officer walked with the particular gait of an officer that's been doing the job for 5 years. It, instead of using any words to actually describe what that gait might look like, it just says the particular insert description of who the person is. And then the user, I guess, fills in the blanks.
I'm just having flashbacks to the cops from Idiocracy being like, this particular individual has been violating the law. This particular individual has no tattoo. Like they had the dumbed down cop speak where they're trying to sound intelligent without actually being intelligent.
More
Anyway,
and more.
That's what that made me think of. Shall we move on to tweets?
Sure. Why not?
Sure. I think I have a button for that somewhere here. Yes.
You have a button for your job?
I have a button for my job. I'm on
Why?
Linux, and I normally stream on Windows. This is only my third stream on Linux, and we've missed like 2 weeks. So I don't know what I'm doing. Also, my Stream Deck's on the wrong side because my USB hub still works, but it doesn't work with the Stream Deck anymore, which is weird.
That's strange.
It just, like, everything else works fine, but the Stream Deck, it just was like, nope, not doing that anymore. And I don't know why. So it's on the wrong side, so I can plug it directly into the computer. Anyway, Arc Encounter says, any geological history based upon uniformitarian assumptions will always contradict the biblical account of the six-day creation and Noah's flood.
Yeah. You know why that is?
Because science proves them wrong, bitches.
So on the Jubilee thing that I was watching earlier, when the last part where the dude was going on his anti-trans speech, and he said that any empirical data that was found would be in favor of the other organizations because they are politically motivated, and so he couldn't trust any of the data. And I'm just sitting there like, you mean like every organization ever?
Yeah, I saw that.
Like,
and then the fact check was like, they gave money to both political parties. So yes, they are technically political because they gave money to both political parties, and that definitionally makes you political.
like, yeah, there's no way to be an organization that doesn't have, like, at that scale, that doesn't have political influence of some kind.
Otaku Senpai says, YouTuber Emma Thorne speaking with AI Jesus is hilarious. I'm sure it is. Emma is great. But I spoke with AI Jesus too, and I did a video about it, so watch mine. Meh.
I haven't spoken to AI Jesus. Should I do AI
I
Donald
paid
Trump?
$50 to speak to AI Jesus.
But you could have just prompted Chat GPT and it would have been the same thing.
I know, but I was like kind of doing a deep dive on the company and what they do and their skeevy business practices and everything. So it's like,
Oh, okay. So you had to
wasn't
actually
just-
use...
Yeah, it wasn't just, hey, this is AI Jesus. It was, this is a company advertising AI Jesus, as well as a bunch of other AI people. Like, I started to go through the process of turning myself into an AI that you could chat with. My intention was go as far as I could to find out as much information, like, find out how much they're paying these people, find out, like, what kind of profit margins are happening on this. But step 2 was you consent, like before you even get to anything where they give you any information about it, you have to consent to them using your likeness and everything. I'm like, nope,
No.
fuck that. I am willing to do a lot for my videos. That's off limits.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but no, you don't get me or my likeness or my words. Fuck off, die.
The crazy thing about that was, though, that I did eventually find the compensation plan, but it wasn't anywhere where you would look for it if you are a creator, looking for information on turning yourself into an AI. It was on the consumer side being like, hey, this is how we treat our creators. It's like, why would you not give that information to creators? Why do I have to look for this in the consumer side of things? It was in the weirdest spot. I forget exactly what it was, but... Otaku says, what makes you think I haven't watched your video? I'm not saying you haven't watched my... Emma probably was funnier than me. I'll give that to her. She's a funny person. I like Emma.
I haven't watched your video, but I also haven't watched Emma's video either, so, I mean...
Yeah. I don't watch Emma's videos because they make me feel inadequate because she's better than me. It's just how it is.
I watched your videos so I could yoink and twist what you did years ago, and then I started doing my own thing that's completely different later on.
I am not going to use yoink and twist with reference to a female creator, if you please, Cirrus.
You're right. It's funnier when it's you because you have
especially
penis.
not one that I actually respect, so no.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, yeah, Arc Encounter is correct here, but what really got me about this one is how it showed up on my timeline, so I took a screenshot of that too. Wendell was right underneath, saying, there is no dichotomy between Christianity and science. I suggest atheists research how many scientists are Christian.
But scientist being Christian doesn't change...
Okay, but AIG is up there right above him being like, hey, anyone who has the scientific view contradicts the Bible. So... Otaku saying, I'm sorry I didn't mention it, though. You guys are both great in your own ways. It's okay. I'm not actually mad. I'm pretend mad for engagement's sake. That's my job.
I'm actually mad, but
Yeah,
not
Cirrus,
for the
Cirrus
same
is always
reasons.
actually mad.
Yeah, not for the same reasons. I'm actually mad because I live in the Georgia South.
Cirrus is mad because it took him this long to get ray trace titties.
I mean, to be fair, I did commission this months ago.
Yeah, there's a new countdown video that I've commissioned Piper to do for the watering hole that I think it's been about 8 months.
Like,
But I also have no leg to stand on with regards to being like, oh, it's taken too long, because I suggested that the bigger video that I am still currently working on would probably be published by last December.
I mean, I can't say anything myself, but that's because I had a whole video essay that just,
Shat the bed.
I mean, eventually I came out with a video of me voicing it. Yeah, it's not the same thing as what it was supposed to be, but I definitely gave up at that point.
Olivia says she's not better than you, Rhino. She's different. You do different things. Okay, but you have to keep in mind that, like, the reason I am capable of doing YouTube is because the meanest comment that I've ever received is not half as mean as I am to myself. So, like, I think that everyone is better than me. That's just part of the job.
I will one up you, Rhino. I know everyone's better than me.
So I thought you were going to say, I know everyone's better than you.
Okay, no.
Because that would have been really funny.
No, I wasn't going to plan your insecurities like that today.
But it would have been really funny if you had.
It would have been funnier than what I said, but So, I also run by the rule that unless somebody's a particularly nasty person, I tend to want to make fun of myself more than other people.
Cirrus.
Because if I'm the target...
Cirrus.
Yeah?
I showed an image of a minion that you can fuck in the eye on stream. It doesn't get nastier than me.
Yeah, I hadn't.
I know that's not the kind of nasty you meant, but yeah, god damn it, this stream has been nasty.
That's banana nasty.
Okay.
What do we got next?
Chicken Gate says,
Chicken Gate.
I don't know if this is a satire account or not. It very well might be. But I chose this because I kind of wanted to talk about it because it was weird. They said, I don't recall ever having smoke cover the province of Ontario when I was young. I'd like to know what's happening why it's happening almost every summer now. What did the Liberals do to forestry, or was it Doug Ford?
What?
So there's a fire somewhere up north, and my town was orange today. Like, looking out the window, it was like looking at a monitor that had nighttime mode turned on, where it like tries to filter out the blue light.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what my town looked like today. It was just orange. It was weird. It was weird as fuck. And it's because there's a fire somewhere up north. Now, as to like, did the Liberals do something to forestry, or was it Doug? No, it's climate change, motherfucker. We're going to have more forest fires, and they're going to be more intense. Because that's what climate change does. It makes
there will be wars and rumors of war.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if this person is like making a joke of like, we're blaming political people for fire, like for the weather. But it's like, it kind of is their fault though, because they've been ignoring climate change for a long time. Like, the people on the right more than the people on the left, but the people on the left have not been innocent in this whole thing. And when I say the left, I mean like the center left, like barely not right wing left. So, yeah.
Mexico piss filter yellow.
Basically.
Yeah, do you want your characters to be in Mexico? Just put a sepia filter over.
You know what? Yeah, we were in Mexico today. Dale Partridge says, women's competitive sports are a result of feminism and unnatural to all of human history.
You know what? No. He's got it. He's got it right. 100%. You know what? And that's why trans women should be allowed in sports.
The women's team should be exclusively trans women. Strong societies do not expect their women to play professional sports, but to bear and raise children. So in ancient Sparta, the women trained in all the same warrior stuff as the men, because it was believed that strong warrior women would bear strong warrior children.
Can I also interject on Dale Partridge's words here? Mr. Dale Partridge, if you can find me a muscly woman who's been playing sports, I will willingly spend time talking with Saki about opening things up again just so she can step on me. I'm okay with that. Like, I know what I'm about.
Depends how muscly. There comes a point where I'm like, nope, not anymore. But I largely agree with your position there. And I also recognize that that is purely an aesthetic thing. And also, my sexuality is such that, like, I'm not going to get excited about it, but I'm not going to say no.
I'll get excited about it. If I think that she can wear plate armor well, I am 100% in. I am all in.
Like, real plate armor or video game plate armor?
Yes. So like I like plate kini is fine too, but like Galea wears full paladin armor. I'll take that too.
Okay. Anyway, he finishes by saying Muslims understand this, and it's partly why they're outpopulating us.
Man, this guy sounds like Steven Anderson already. Just praising the Muslims because we're able to see them as a good example of how to kill the gays.
So, well,
I'm so
if
happy
I were to
watching
hazard a
that guy
guess, I'd
crash
say the
out.
reason Muslims are outpopulating the Christians is because the Muslims are doing the same thing as the Christians, but they're doing it in countries that are under much stricter religious control. So the Muslim kids are not as exposed to ideas outside of their religion as the Christian kids in North America, which to me suggests that, you know, exposure to other ideas leads people to believe that neither religion is true. I don't have any data to back that up. This is me completely speculating here. But that seems right to me. I feel it in my bones. Next up, Danny says, why wasn't Jesus recorded as baptizing people if water baptism saves? Which caused me to question, why did Jesus need to get baptized? Isn't baptism about washing away your sins?
So based on the text, he did it as to be an example. Like that's the actual reason he had John the Baptist do that is because he wanted to set an example for others.
Yeah, but so if we put our historian hats on, we remember that John the Baptist was actually a real guy who had a competing sect of followers that were not Christian. And the Christians
Right.
kind of folded him into their thing to kind of be like it's kind of the way that polytheists in like pagan times worked, where it's like, okay, yeah, your gods are our gods now too. Like they did that with John the Baptist, where he was not with them. And so like, no, actually he gave his blessing to our guy. So my understanding is not that he was doing it as an example. It was more of a like tactic to get the John the Baptist followers to convert to Christianity. But then anyway, Brian Holdsworth, the Catholic apologist, who is a racist piece of shit, responded with, read Ephesians if you want to know how Jesus acts. To which I would be like, why would we read a book that doesn't biographically follow Jesus' life instead of one of the four that does?
I mean, I'll just throw in that there are very few Christian sects that actually believe that baptism saves. Even Baptists largely view baptism as a symbolic gesture.
Yeah, baptism is a part of salvation, but it is not the act itself that saves you. You need to accept Jesus into your heart. Sprinkling water is not going to do that for you.
I mean, I don't know a single Baptist that does sprinkling water.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Full immersion doesn't matter. I don't care about that debate.
It's the one I grew up with, so I'm gonna autism about it.
Yeah, okay. Most of the denominations I attended were full immersion adult baptism ones. I, however, was baby baptized and then confirmed at the age of 13 into the United Church of Canada. It was just after that one that I transitioned to the adult baptism ones and then never actually got adult baptized. Now that I think
Guys,
about
you
it.
heard it here. Vice Rhino transitioned. That means he's either more based or less based, depending on where you sit in the political aisle. You make up your decision at that point.
There's a Church of Canada. No, it's the United Church of Canada. It's not the official religion of Canada. I think it was at one point, but it's not anymore. It's just like there is a United Church in the United States as well, but it's different than the one in Canada. So it's the United Church of Canada. They're actually pretty progressive. Like they do gay marriages. They were actually pressuring the government to legalize gay marriage in the 90s. They're like this weird kind of fusion between Protestantism, Orthodoxy, and progressive denomination. It's weird. Like it's one of the boring churches that like they don't do. Like our church had a schism when they bought a drum set, not to be used in the services, but to be used as part of the youth outreach ministry that they were trying to start. But because they now owned a drum set, a bunch of people were like, nope, I'm out of here. So like they're that kind of church, but at the same time, they're very much pro gay marriage.
Okay.
So it's like, it's a weird denomination, but it's also the biggest one in Canada. So like, I don't know. Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
Oh, that's just the Mitch McConnell proof.
Oh,
of life
hi,
picture.
Mitch the bitch. Mr.
Rigor
Rigor
Tortoise. Okay. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said, "The International Criminal Court seeks to become the unaccountable arbiter of a new global law, empowered to prosecute and arrest our citizens at will and existentially threaten American sovereignty. We will teach the ICC the full meaning of American resolve." The ICC is about prosecuting war criminals.
So we're admitting we're war criminals then.
Yeah. So if you're afraid of this falls into the like what is, to my understanding, a Republican talking point of you would only have a problem with, the police state if you're doing something wrong. So like you should only be worried about the people who, prosecute people for committing genocide if you're committing genocide.
And yet, here we are, watching him show that they have one of two choices. They can be consistent with their ideology, or they can be hyper-selective every time things don't go right for them.
Yeah, I mean, when have they ever been consistent?
They've been consistently shit.
Oh, not to completely derail the stream, Cyrus, although this is going to completely derail the stream.
Is it
but
more minions?
No. It's Magic the Gathering stuff. So you're going to be off on like a 20-minute tangent.
What? Huh?
So my partner I forget whether it was my birthday or Father's Day, they're very close together and they kind of blended together this year. Got me a lot of, like, we went to the shores of the Niagara River and we had a nice little picnic with a bento box thing that she had ordered straight from Japan. So there were like a bunch of little Japanese treats in there. We got sushi from the local sushi restaurant, and it was great.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fun time. But also in amongst my gifts was Appa from Magic the Gathering.
Oh my god.
And
full art foil Appa.
yeah, and so I see Appa, and so it's flash flying. When Appa enters, airbend any number of other target non-land permanents you control. I don't know what that means.
It means exile them, and then you're allowed to play them again for 2 mana later. You use it to disrupt your opponents from hitting you, or you use it so that you can replay your own stuff and get into the battlefield effects again and again and again.
Oh, cool. And then whenever you cast a spell from exile, that makes this make a lot more sense. Whenever you cast a spell from exile, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. Would this go well in my deck?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it's very much a minion deck.
So what you do with Appa is you take your Avenger of Zendikar, and you just drop Appa down, and then you have a couple things you can do with it. One, Avenger of Zendikar, drop Appa down, and then replay the Avenger of Zendikar and get a fuck ton of tokens. Two, the funnier one is you drop Appa down after you've doubled Scoot Swarm once, and you get rid of the original Scoot Swarm and hold it in exile, so that anytime your opponents are like, okay, we wiped the board, you go, nope, I pay
Scoot
2.
Swarm's back.
The original Scoot Swarm is back, baby!
That is stupid.
Also, speaking of Magic the Gathering, I'm very upset with Wizards of the Coast right now because they announced the Star Trek set for Magic.
Oh, I was so mad at that. So I saw my not my Google notifications, but like when I open Google on my phone, there's always like there's the search and then there's all the
Yeah.
news articles underneath it. And the one that was talking about that was like Picard returns, a new Star Trek announcement. I'm like, are they really dragging Patrick Stewart out for another show?
I fucking hate. So I hate every one of those things where it's like a product is coming out, the
It's like,
actor
no,
returns.
They
for-
used his fucking picture for Magic cards. No, like no, that's not Picard is returning in a new Star Trek thing. Like no, come on, fuck off.
So the thing that pissed me off, or there's a thing that made me happy and a thing that pissed me off. The thing that made me happy is they confirmed we are getting multiple cards for Q. So I'm going to be able to make a Q deck, and it's going to be fun. That is on my list of to dos. However,
They
the thing
should
that pissed-
they should reskin a Scoot Swarm as Q.
that would make sense actually. The thing that pissed me off is they announced Sheoldred the Apocalypse is getting a reprint. Now Sheoldred's about $100. She's needed a reprint for a while. She needs her price lowered down. This is something that everybody in the community has been bitching about. They're finally reprinting Sheoldred, and they are reprinting Sheoldred as a reskin as a Star Trek character. Now, when I tell you the description of who Sheoldred is, you're going to have an idea of exactly which character it should be. She is part of a robotic swarm that assimilates people into them and then captures them and changes their biology so that they are now robots as well.
So she's the Borg Queen.
All right, cool. I'm so glad that you guessed Khan.
She's Khan.
She's Khan. And I went off on a. So we know
How
that
is
the
that
Borg,
even remotely?
I know. So first of all,
No.
we know that we're getting a Borg Queen deck. They announced that one of the commander decks coming out is Borg Queen. So at least there's that. But when I saw that, I screamed because I went, okay, cool. So Khan is a genetically engineered character who was part of a 15-year-long project to be better and faster and stronger than everybody else for reason X, Y, or Z, whatever the writer wanted it to be at the time.
He didn't
Whether it's-
genetically engineer new people.
No. He was genetically engineered.
Yes,
So-
I know. That's what I'm saying. He didn't do the genetic engineering. He didn't make more of himself.
Right. So because of that, I went off on a long tangent and went, if you wanted a character to represent this archetype, you had Joyra. Joyra was part of the Bloodlines project, a eugenics project from Urza to create a super soldier that could pilot a ship. That's
That's
Khan.
I can't say for sure that if you read that description without telling me who, I would have immediately gone to Khan, but that definitely fits.
Like, you have a Magic character that has that story. Why did you not do that? You went with, and it's fucking Benedict Cumberbatch's Khan. So it's Benedict Cumberbatch's
It's not even
Khan.
It's not even
with,
the good Khan.
in what? So
Does
the
anybody
good
even
Khan is in-
remember Benedict Cumberbatch's Khan? Like, I
The good Khan
forgot
is-
that he played Khan until this moment when you said it.
So the good Khan is in the background. So they have Benedict Cumberbatch in the front, and then they have scenes from the original movie.
No. Original movie has to be in the front. Original movie has to be in the front and center for original. Like, yeah, no, that's one of the best Star Trek movies there is. You can't put him in the background.
So
Nobody puts Connie in the corner.
I was so pissed when I saw that because I'm like, man, I was not excited for the Star Trek set because I don't want Star Trek in Magic. I want things that feel like high fantasy to be in Magic, and that's not really Trek 90% of the time. Like some of the episodes when they're in the holodeck, sure, but most of the time it's not. So whatever. But if you're gonna have it in, when you have characters that are quite literally one-to-one analogies to one another, maybe those are the ones you reskin. Not Sheoldred the Whispering One gets reskinned as Khan when we had the Borg Queen right there. I don't know. It's just fucking that pissed me off. And the art looks horrible. It's so Uncanny Valley. But you had everything there. at least they confirmed we are getting a Borg deck, so I will probably be getting that.
Olivia
They
Williams is
confirmed that.
asking, what about the episode Seed Con? I don't know the episodes by name. Is that the original series one that Con first showed up in?
Old Gus says, stupid question. Does Cirrus have Sonic Magic the Gathering cards? Old Gus, not only do I have multiple copies of the Sonic the Hedgehog cards, I have them signed by Tracy Yardley, the artist who made like 3 of them. I went to Tracy Yardley and bought a Sonic Secret Lair off of him and then had him sign it.
Space Seed is the episode of Star Trek where Khan first showed up. It was the same guy playing him in that as was in the movie. And it was the cheesy TV show, so it was very much cheesy TV showy. There was some mild sexism in that episode, but like it was it was original series of Trek. There was a lot of sexism in that, despite how progressive it was.
I mean, it's
So, like,
original Trek.
Yeah.
Kirk is a character. There's gonna be sexism.
Yeah. I mean, it
Like
was
his
quite
main-
progressive, but it was also the 60s?
Like his 2 character traits are, and I quote, his speech patterns and he fucks women.
Yeah.
Like,
That is Captain Kirk. So, yeah. So, yeah, as far as original series Trek goes, it's not my favorite episode. But,
I'm probably going to deep dive into more Trek stuff in anticipation of the set so that I can at least get myself in the headspace where I'll care. Because, like, the Marvel set came out and I just straight up ignored it.
You just got to watch the Next Generation episode, The Naked Now.
I've seen the first season and a half of Next Generation. I need to
Naked
watch
Now is
more.
in the first season.
Is Naked
It's-
Now the one where
it's the
Data
one where-
says he's fully functional?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay, then I know exactly which one
Best
you're talking
episode
about.
of Star Trek ever.
Okay.
By which I mean the worst, but very fun to watch.
I definitely enjoyed it. It was very, very funny.
Okay. Sandra H. says the first and second laws of thermodynamics make it clear the universe is not eternal. It had a beginning. It had a creator. His name is the Lord Jesus Christ.
So, congratulations. Science agrees with you. The beginning of our universe as we understand it was Big Bang, but by beginning, I mean that's the T=0 event. Technically, the actual energy/matter itself is older than that by how long we don't know, probably eternal. But, like, if we're talking about did the universe as we understand it have a beginning? Yeah, sure. T=0 is a thing. That doesn't mean God.
Well, also, the first and second laws of thermodynamics, that's the whole matter and energy cannot be created and destroyed.
Yeah.
And, entropy always increases. But, like, there's nothing in cosmology that I'm aware of that says that matter and energy were created at the beginning.
Like, as far
So,
as we
like-
know, everything was condensed into a hot, dense state, as the song goes.
Yeah. So, like, not eternal doesn't mean there was nothing beforehand and matter and energy were created suddenly.
It doesn't mean Jeebus.
No. So, yeah. And this is one of the things that kind of gets me about Christian apologetics is that they seem to be under the impression that these theoretical physicists who spend their entire lives immersed in the math, the like ridiculously complicated math regarding the laws of physics, they just have never considered the laws of thermodynamics in any of their calculations. Therefore, checkmate atheists. Like, the idea that these people have not thought about the laws of thermodynamics with regards to the rest of their models is just like, really? Like, if you can take down some robust scientific theories with science stuff that you learned in high school, then no, you didn't take anything down.
Yeah, this is the trans people are invalid because have you not read biology 1.0
It's
or
basic
something like that?
biology. There's men and women.
You're right. And
like, yeah,
then you look at
and-
advanced biology and
It's like, yeah, you know what? My 7-year-old thinks that this shirt is red. Not that it reflects the wavelengths of light that are red, or that our eyes perceive as red. They just think that color red. Turns out when you learn more about something, it gets more complicated.
Yeah.
Scott Roberts says, one of the greatest evidences that Christianity is true is this. The Bible doesn't flatter its heroes. Noah gets drunk. Abraham lies. Moses loses his temper and murders someone. David commits adultery and murder. Peter denies Christ. Thomas doubts. Paul calls himself the chief of sinners. Ancient myths make their heroes larger than life. Scripture tells the truth about mankind because its purpose isn't to exalt men, it's to exalt Christ.
So you're saying that
who's the main character of the Bible, Cyrus?
There isn't one actually.
Yeah, if you had to pick one, who would it be?
Paul.
No.
He wrote more of it than anybody else.
I'm not. Yeah, that makes him the most prolific author of the Bible, not the main character of the Bible.
He's also protag in all of those stories too.
God, Cyrus.
Yeah?
God is the main character of the Bible.
Then why are there so many other character arcs? Why does God never go on a character arc?
Because God's a Mary Sue. The Bible flatters him.
You're right! And that's why the Bible is too woke for Christians. It's got a fucking Mary Sue in it.
No, but like seriously, the character... actually, arguably, the character of God is not very flattered in the Bible, but they, you have to get into a whole thing with regards to like actually reading the Old Testament with some nuance that a lot of Christians don't really like. Because like God very clearly is not omnipotent and omnipresent and everything in a lot of stories in the Old Testament. And like he lies to people. There's a lot that God does wrong. You come around to Jesus, though. Jesus is very much a Mary Sue character, and Christians want to say like, oh yeah, no, Jesus and God are the same character, so it's the same person all the way through the Bible. So like Jesus is very much a Mary Sue character. Sorry, Gary Stu, I guess. Because, you know, male and female.
Definitely still Mary Sue. I'm sorry, Jesus was born without any male chromosomes, and you can't convince me otherwise.
Yeah, I know how biology works, Cyrus. It's basic biology.
It's basic biology.
Yeah, but then also he says ancient myths make their heroes larger than life. Have you read an ancient myth, motherfucker? It's all about how messed up those people are.
So, like, okay, the Odyssey is ancient myth. Who would you call the hero of the Odyssey?
Depends what part. There's the Odyssey and the Iliad. The Odyssey is Odysseus. Odyssey.
Cool. So
I figured it out.
So how larger than life is he, or is that story about how everything else is bigger than him?
It's about how everything fucked him up because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, everything else is bigger than Odysseus.
Like, I don't just have it on my shelf because I haven't read it. Although I haven't read it in a very long time, so I don't know what it's doing on the shelf there, to be honest.
I mean, I used to have a copy of the Divine Comedy sitting on my shelf, and I don't know where the fuck that went. Speaking of hell, there's a book that I need to read. I looked at a synopsis for it, and the idea is fascinating. It's called A Short Stay in Hell.
Okay.
So the audiobook is 2.5 hours long. It is not a long story. The premise is a guy dies. A guy's a Mormon. He dies, goes to hell, and then sees a demon that has like a bunch of people in like a classroom. And the dude's like freaking out, going, "Wait, no! I was washed in the blood of the Lamb. I'm supposed to be somewhere else." The demon's like, "You were a good Mormon, right?" "Yeah, no, you're where you're supposed to be." And he's freaking the fuck out. The dude's just like, "No, you don't get it. Zoroastrianism was the actual religion you were supposed to be following. I know you've never heard of it, but it doesn't matter. So we're gonna figure out what kind of hell you go to. Don't worry, the hell you're going to, it's not permanent. You're only there to learn a lesson. That's all." And the dude goes, "Okay." And so he gets sent to a hell based on what he loved to do in life. He loved to read, so he gets sent to the Library of Babel. Are you familiar with the Library of Babel?
No.
The Library of Babel contains every book that has been written and every book that could be written.
And
now,
once he has read all of the books, he is done in hell?
No, once he finds the book that is the biography of his life story,
Ah.
with no spelling mistakes. Then he submits it, and then he gets out of hell. Now, he's not the only one here. He gets roommates. Like the way that the library is built is every 100 feet of bookcases there is a break room and a apartment room. It's got 7 beds in it, and the break room has a kiosk that will give him whatever food he wants. You can be as specific as that one dish my grandma made when I was 12, and it will produce that dish and give it to
my
you.
My grandma made some wicked peanut butter cookies.
So anybody, like, you can be here for as long as you want. And most people are stuck here forever because the way the library works, when it says every book that could be written...
It's not the Dewey Decimal System?
No. The way the library works, the books that are in it, there is a book that is all the letter A from front to back. Then there is a book that is the letter A from front to back with a period at the end.
I think that is stretching the definition of book.
But... that is the way the Library of Babel works. It is every book that could be written.
I reject the premise.
You reject the premise?
I reject the premise.
So...
because, like, even if you just, like, if it's an actual book that has some sort of meaning in its text other than just gibberish or whatever, like, you still have an infinite number of books. It's still going to be an impossible task.
It's still going to be an impossible task, but one of the things the book does with the gibberish books like that is there are societies that form within this hell where their religious texts functionally are whatever book they could find that has any kind of coherent sentence in it, and they just start lumping all kinds of fucking meaning onto it because it's so rare to find a book that has any cohesive text. I watched a YouTube video going over the entire plot of it. I'm not going to spoil anything that goes on in it, but the plot seemed not only really fun, but it also felt like the thing that makes you just feel existential dread, which is right up my fucking alley. So I went ahead and got the audiobook immediately, and I'm going to be reading it soon.
The Transformed Wife says, do you ever wonder why many women are angry all the time? Feminism makes women angry. It convinced women to be men. We weren't created to be men. We fail at being men. This makes women angry. Go back to what God created you for, women. Find contentment there.
So, Lori, real quick, you know that feminism doesn't stop women from being, like, tradcath, barefoot, and pregnant?
Yeah,
like,
gives them the choice.
Yeah, you can do that whether you want to or not. So, like, don't get me wrong. I will say this right now. The idea of the, like, trad wife, 100% I'm into that shit. I have also never been in a relationship with somebody.
Cyrus wants a trad wife to step on his neck.
Yes, actually. But
be submissive to me and dominate me, mommy.
But here's the thing. I want to make sure that I always live in a world where, let's say I had a daughter and she didn't want to have that life. I want her to have a choice. I want her to be able to choose the life that she wants. If I have a friend who's female, I want her to have a choice about what she wants. I want people to have choices. Also, she's actually right about one thing. Feminism does make women angry. You know why? Because when people realize they're in
men suck.
Yeah, when they're in, well, I mean, sometimes we do, and if we have partners that have, anyway,
not what I meant, and you know it. Don't you dare not all men this.
I wasn't not all menning. I was 100% saying that sometimes you date trans women. And
I know what you were saying.
I said weenus. I talked about the elbow.
I mean, if that's what you're into, go for it. I feel like it's too close to the funny bone, so it would feel weird.
It would feel funny. But
the funny bone never does.
It's funny.
It's the most serious bone in the body.
So when I think of feminism and making women angry, of course it makes women angry. It tells them that the society that they live in is unjust, which it is. Mm-hmm. And it's a patriarchy that largely discriminates against them, which it does. If I found out that the world were stacked up against me in any meaningful way, I would be upset about that. That would make me mad.
Yeah.
And Like, don't get me wrong, there are benefits that come from that, but those benefits come with massive negatives too. So, like, let's say that you are okay with the patriarchal society. You want it to be exactly what it is. You want women to be subservient to men. Let's say that's what you want, and you're a woman. Okay, cool. You find yourself in a relationship with a guy who has lots of money. You're able to just leech off of him the entire time. Congratulations, but he's abusive. What do? You can't afford an apartment because you decided that was not the life that you wanted society to have access to. So you're stuck there forever.
I mean, if we rescind feminism, you don't have a credit score with which to get your own apartment because you can't have a credit card.
You can't even vote.
You can't vote. Yeah. Feminism gives women the choice to do what Lori wants them to do.
Yeah, like, that's it. Oh, hi, Frank.
Okay, Frank Turek says, if you're saying in order for God to remain sovereign, he can't give other creatures free will, that's not a very sovereign God.
It's not, it has nothing to do with his sovereignty. It has everything to do with him being omniscient. If God is omniscient, you don't have free will.
Yeah, no, if he knows what I am about to do, then I cannot do otherwise than what he knows I am about to do. Therefore, I do not have the free will to do otherwise. So, like, logically, free will doesn't work with an omniscient God, especially... So, omniscient, maybe you could make an argument that would be like recording a like, record a live broadcast and then watching it back later. It's already happened, and you might know what's going to happen, but you are not making it happen. They still made those choices themselves. That is an argument that could be made. However, God is also supposed to be omnipotent and the creator of everything. So he created everything knowing exactly how everything would fall into place.
Also, thing is, if God knows I'm going to do a jumping jack on Tuesday, and it comes to Tuesday, and it's time for me to do the jumping jack, I can't not do the jumping jack, because he knows that I'm going to be doing it. I don't actually have any ability to do anything besides be a puppet here.
Yeah, so... this is Frank's argument. I've actually heard him make pretty much the exact argument that I made in defense of that. So God is outside of time, so he knows it not because you don't have a choice to do otherwise. He knows it that from his perspective, it is something that has already happened.
Right, but also it's something that is going to happen from his perspective, because if he's outside of time, then he's not necessarily at the end of it. He's also able to be at the beginning of it. I also still don't have the ability to choose to do anything other than what's on that timeline.
I know, but I think it's a more powerful argument against this to just point out that he also created everything. So he stacked the deck knowing in exactly what way his stacking of the deck would play out.
Yeah, God does cheat. You're right.
Yeah. And that was the last one.
Oh, boy. Hi. We managed it at 11:01.
I mean, the last few episodes have been kind of short, so...
That's fair. I'm going to slime about it.
Right. You can slime yourself with the push of a button.
Mm-hmm. That's a thing I can do now.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. Is there a fleshlight for that? Okay.
I don't like where this is going.
It's going to, as always, fuck off.